Well, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Skip Reimer. I'm the Executive Director of Events and Communications here at the Institute, and welcome to this very special edition of the Milken Institute Forum. We obviously have a lot of people interested. Before we start, just a couple quick things. Especially for those of you who are new here, we take questions for the most part electronically. So if you have a question, you can either email or text us at any time between now and the end of the program. And then those will show up. As many as we can get through will be read here from the stage. If you forgot your iPad, we also have microphones if you want to do things the old-fashioned way. Secondly, our author's book is for sale right over here for our friends in Barnes & Noble. Feel free to give cash or credit card anytime between now and the end of the program. And following today's program, our author will sign copies of his book. Now, over the past year, we have fed your intellect with issues as wide-ranging as America's changing energy structure to exploring the universe. And today we're also going to feed your soul. Now, today I'm very delighted to introduce today's speaker and moderator is Lori Milken, who along with her partner Cecile Engel are the founders and publishers of Delphinium Books, which is the publisher of today's book, The Path to Awakening. A quick little background. Their first book, Delphinium Blossoms, published in 1990, was an eclectic collection of short stories, poems, and essays by first-time authors, as well as some of today's most highly regarded writers and thinkers, including E.L. Doctorow, Grace Paley, Russell Banks, and Vernon Jordan Jr. And now that book of literary fiction and thought-provoking nonfiction set the tone for the kinds of books and writing that Delphinium has published since. Now, it's been 21 years since they started publishing its books. They've received numerous awards, including for its jacket designs and the Penn Hemingway Award for Best First Fiction. And in staying on the cusp of changes in technology in the publishing world, Delphinium's books are now published in hardback, paperback, and with Open Road Media as e-books. So it is my pleasure to introduce our host for the evening, Lori Milken. Lori?
Thank you, Skip. So we at Delphinium Books are so very proud and honored to have published The Path to Awakening by Shamar Rinpoche. Shamar Rinpoche is the 14th Shamarpa, or Red Hat Lama of Tibet. And for those of you who do not know what that is, the Shamarpas are the second oldest reincarnate lineage. In 1996, Shamar Rinpoche started the Bodhi Path Buddhist Centers, a network of centers whose teachings are based on a non-sectarian approach to Buddhism. The teachings at the center came from the 11th century Indian Buddhist master Atisha. And in the 12th century, Chekawa Yeshe Dorje condensed Atisha's teachings into 7 points. In The Path to Awakening, Shamar Rinpoche provides an extensive commentary and explanations of the inner meanings of those 7 points. It is and he explains them in lay, understandable language. Anyone can read it and understand it. It is also a guide to different meditation techniques. The Path to Awakening is really a philosophical and rational guide to enlightenment and to a way of living a fulfilling life. Following Shamar Rinpoche's opening remarks, there will be a panel discussion with Dr. Marc Junkunc. He's the Assistant Professor of Management at the Pamplin College of Business at Virginia Tech. And he received his PhD in Global Economics and Management from the Anderson School at UCLA. So please welcome them. Thank you.
Thank you very much for all of you came here today. And thank you very much, Delphinium Books, which is distributed by HarperCollins for publishing The Path to Awakening. And thank you very much, Milken Institute, who organized this wonderful function today. I will explain the two reasons why I written this commentary of the 7 points mind training, and after that, then you can give me the questions. Then he will handle the questions. Yeah. The first reason is I have been teaching in the United States and European countries for last over 30 years, or I will say almost 40 years. And I had a lot of experience of the evolution of the Western society, as well as connected to the Buddhism. Therefore, according to my experience in the past and now, a lot of change happened. In the past, like let's say in 1980s when I was teaching in the United States, that time so many hippies who interested in Buddhism, and they absorbed Buddhism very comfortably. And even because of Buddhism, the successful hippies could stop taking drugs, and then they deeply involved in the meditation, and they were very successful, I know. Nowadays, or later, I think so, later in about 1990 or maybe before that, then the yuppies started, isn't it? So when they accepted Buddhism, it's a little different than from the hippies. And in Tibet, the Tibetan populations, most of the populations divided by the four Buddhist schools. Though divided by the four Buddhist schools, but there were not so much in the sectarian problems. Only a particular school ruled the government, then there was sectarian problems. There is also. But that is political reason only. But in the West, when the Buddhists, as I said, nowadays yuppies, so the high-level yuppies or not deeply involved in the yuppies, no matter whatever, you are business-minded, so business-oriented. People are business-oriented. So when you follow a particular school, you think that you are following one particular company, and the teachers are your boss of the company, and then the contrary, the other schools are competitors. You may think competitors, and as well as the spiritual leaders of the schools who are different are your competitors, and then sectarian problem is even stronger than what we used to have in Tibet, as I mentioned before. So sectarians is not healthy to develop among the community. And the path to awakening lineage is very, very pure lineage. In Tibet, all the Buddhists, all the four school practitioners followed this 7 points mind training. Sorry, not the path to awakening, 7 points mind training. So I've written the commentary of the 7 points mind training, mainly dedicated for the non-Tibetans. But of course, Tibetans can also read it, use it. And then this is totally secular practice. You only learn how to do the meditation, and you will learn the different levels of the meditation up to the, let's say, enlightenment. And you will not be trapped in a particular commitment, such as like in Vajrayana practice, yes, true, if a type of guru who is highly qualified on Vajrayana practice give the empowerment to the disciple, and then disciple will follow the instruction of the guru without hesitation. They may not analyze anything what gurus say. And that dynamic practice was organized completely for the hermitage. In the early time, Vajrayana practice is completely for the hermitage people. That's why they go into the deep jungle, and nobody knows how the practitioners are doing practice until they are enlightened. You won't know it. When it's mixed with the society, then I could see very clearly that you have to make a lot of commitment for many reasons, which is not very healthy. As I told you before, it's creating sectarian problems. And so then it will not be helpful for people. Therefore, I selected the 7 points mind training, which is lineage from the Atisha. In Tibet also, everyone follow his teaching, and I think it's most suitable for the Western society. Another reason I wrote this book is so many people are suffering with anxiety and depressions. So among these 7 points, the first point is very, very helpful for eliminating the depressions and anxiety. When you do there are in the first chapter there are quite several practices, but first practice that first training is very, very, very effective training. That you focus your mind on the breath, on your breath, and then you count the exhaling, inhaling 21 times. Well, 21 times means 5 minutes, and then you have rest, and then again you do it. And then you will accumulate the good habit on it, and then later you will be able to do 100 times at one time comfortably, with fully aware about your meditation. And once you become good on doing 100 times, then you will be able to do easily 1,000 times. And then from that, then the peace of the mind will develop. And once peace of the mind develops, then you have no reason to have anxiety and depressions, because the joy of from the peace of mind has no comparison in our normal life. Even that is first step, but you will get a very, very interesting, wonderful result. So, and then of course, after that, then gradually you will pass these second step, third step, even you can be enlightened. Yeah? So that is my second reason why I written this commentary of and then the 7 points mind training. 7 points mind training does not mean that we are trying to take away your mind. Yeah? It means training to your mind. Like mind is usually like a wild horse, so you train it and make peaceful to rid away the agitations, rid away the hurricane minds. Yeah, and to develop the peace in the mind is the ultimate benefit of the life. I believe so. Yes, these are the simply I like to say, and then very welcome if you have any questions.
Thank you, Rinpoche. We have some time set aside for a moderated discussion here with a few follow-up questions, and then after some time we can open it up also to the outside questions, which I believe you can email or text in as the information was given. So go ahead and do that. Rinpoche, you titled your book The Path to Awakening. What is awakening? What do you mean by awakening here?
Awakening means, simply I can say, awakening from ignorance, from our mind is totally overwhelmed by illusion. The reason of that you have illusion is from ignorance. You don't see your real essence of the mind. You don't see it. You don't realize it. You are totally trapped in the dream of the illusion. Yeah.
Okay.
It's constantly dreaming.
Okay.
Your mind is trapped in the constantly dreaming and different kinds of dreamings. Big dreams like you are in a realm and you are as one of the living beings in this realm and you live for maybe 100 years. It's a long dream. Small dream is why you are sleeping, you have a lot of dream. How you can experience when your mind is totally controlled by your dreams. And when you wake up, then dreams disappearing. It is because dreams were never exist. So if you realize the non-existence essence of mind, then all illusions will be vanished. That's why awakening.
Okay. So this basic illusion or basic ignorance is what we're awakening from. When we think of ignorance many times in the West, we think also of lack of knowledge. So if we are not knowledgeable about a particular topic, we're ignorant about that subject. What is the difference between this knowledge and something like wisdom?
Now here ignorant is, let's say, diluted mind is ignorance. Or you can say experience of the dualistic mind. Like object and subject, then you cooperate with it, then constantly you are in the illusion.
Okay.
So this is different than the normal ignorant.
So if the ignorance is coming from the dualistic
Yes.
mind, and a lot of times in the text they might talk about the dualistic mind and how that might relate to the self or the ego. So what is the understanding we should have about the self
ignorance
or the
is
ego?
here. Then, of course, this is a meditation, and especially meditation for enlightenment, and which is beyond of our normal concept. When we describe it, we have to use our terms, which may not be so accurate to mean it, but through deductions you can understand, roughly. Here, ignorant does not mean our normal ignorance. Normal ignorant, you may say, oh, you don't know how to follow the road, therefore you got occurred accident or ignorant, isn't it? That's very small ignorance. Here, our ignorant is you yourself don't know what is the real cause of constant delusion you have. That's the ignorant.
Okay.
When you wake up, when you wake up from that ignorance, then you will know what was the ignorant in the past that you had. You will realize that time.
How does this relate directly to happiness? We talk a lot about seeking for happiness, want happiness.
That is limitless happiness that, as I told you, we cannot describe in our normal words. Like human language is the language of cats to say something what they want. Like cats will try to tell you through some words, like meow, 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 like that. compared to part of the wisdom, our language is the language of cats.
Okay.
But we can use the deductions.
So in our language, we are reading a lot today in the popular media and other books, for example, written about mindfulness. There's a lot of discussion right now about mindfulness. How does that relate to awakening, and how is it different? What is the relation?
Mindfulness is in the first part. The first part, meditation, is training for them to maintain, to engage in the mindfulness, state of mindfulness, and maintain it. The first practice. Through through well-developed this of the mind training, then you can go along the path to awakening. Yes. So mind training, mindfulness is the first step, first technique. Through that you can go in. So mindfulness is in the it's simply concentration, but you have no habit of that. So you have to develop the spontaneous mindfulness.
And the process for this is the meditation.
Meditation, yeah. In the 7 points mind training is really aggregated of all the Buddhist meditations. So for example, 7 points mind training is consisted of the 100 package of Lojong practice. The Lojong is 7 points Lojong. It's called Lo in Tibetan Buddhist language is mind. Jong means training. There are 100 package Lojong training. 7 points mind training is consisted of the 100s. And when you come to the third stage, third points of this practice, then you will be able to engage in all these 100s, different Lojong or different training to increase the quality of your meditation. So 7 points mind training is a wonderful practice.
Okay.
Yeah.
One of the techniques that you describe
Is the
book
mindfulness in the first time.
the first time.
Yeah.
Later you discuss also something called Tonglen meditation. Can
Yeah.
you explain a little bit about that, how that might be different? Or
Tonglen is based on, it's also training. This also will develop, maintain the concentration and mindfulness practice, concentration practice. It will maintain that. But plus, Tonglen is the compassion. Yeah, Tonglen increase the compassion. Compassion carries a limitless meritorious. So that will, this is mainly for purify the bad, negative karmas in the mind. Tonglen will purify the negative. In Buddhist teaching, there are a lot teaching about karma, how the karma is existing in the mind. There's so much teaching about karma. But simply, karmas are the negative mental events. So many negative mental events stored in the mind by cause of this ego clinging, self-clinging. So once you have the clinging on yourself, that attitude, develop a lot of afflictions. So afflictions then control what you say, what you do, will collect negative karma, and that will stored in the mind, which produce bad dreams, let's say bad realms. Yeah? And to purify the negative karma, then Tonglen is one of the sub-branch of the 7 points mind training. Yes. Okay. Tonglen is recommended. Yeah. Tonglen means giving and taking. Here, when you exhale your breath, then you make wish that all your happiness is generated and absorbed by the living beings, and they're free from the sufferings. When you inhale your breath, same times you think that you remove all their sufferings, all sentient beings' sufferings, and absorbed by you. There's a kind of a training. Yeah.
Okay. Some people might be a little nervous to begin meditation. Are there any dangers to meditation? Are there any reasons we should be afraid of meditation or beginning to meditate?
If you don't know how to do meditation, just do, maybe some problem can happen. But once you know it, no danger, not at all. Yes, you have to know how to do meditation.
What do you recommend for
Like
beginners?
that's why the meditation steps were arranged, yeah? Arranged like that. That's why many of the books written by the meditation masters. In order, if you just do by yourself something, this can sometimes can create some mental problem also. Mm-hmm. Yeah, quite delicate. But none of the hippies had problems of doing meditation, and neither yuppies, so I think it's okay.
Okay. Rinpoche, in the book, there are slogans, simple slogans and sentences. How do we use those, or how do we interpret those in the way the book is designed?
Slogans is the education system in the Buddhist. Easy to memorize slogans, and then you will not forget the points. It's just simply for that.
So just to help us remember about the commentary that you described there. Okay, thank you. You mentioned some terminology earlier. You mentioned the Vajrayana, and a lot of times we hear terminology like a Mahayana, Bodhisattva. What should we understand about these to sort through the different texts that are there?
That is quite big. It refers to the history also. It refers to the practice also, you know. In the history, like Buddha Shakyamuni. Shakyamuni was a prince of India. I think most of you know it. Very, very, very wealthy kingdom. And then when he come to age of 19, then he realized that life has no meaning. You know, no ultimate happiness is there. There are already many saints, renounced saints. They already have it. So they know how to, they were doing meditation of mindfulness mostly. Just keep doing it, and then it's increased up to no limit. Only mindfulness without the extra practice for the enlightenment, for the awakening. And he met two of them, and he learned the mindfulness meditation from them. And then he did meditation, and then later he realized the meditation for awakening, meditation for enlightenment is discovered by Buddha while he is in meditation in forest. Yeah, 24 hours he was in meditation every day for 6 years, and he discovered that the extra view means to realize the non-existence nature of mind is very important to root out the illusions. That's called yana, means stage. That is stage for the enlightenment. That what he realized. And then he taught to the people. And first he taught to the people how to do the meditation just to eliminate self-clinging only. And that's Theravadayana. And then he taught more about the non-existence. The whole phenomenon is not existing. Neither your mind is not exist. The big way, broad way about the non-existence view is Mahayana. Yeah. And Vajrayana refers to the medical subject, actually. It's very interesting. Vajrayana is based on medical subject about biology. And then they understood the mind is combined with the energies that circulate through the nerves. And then when you do the right yoga to put the mind into the energy in the central central nerve, then all the branch nerves naturally will disappear and then come to the same stage of the awakening. So that's the Vajrayana. It's a totally different, the base. Base is different, but come to the same point.
Okay, thank you. Laurie introduced you as Shamar Rinpoche, the 14th Shamarpa.
Yes.
What can you tell us about this terminology? What does Shamar Rinpoche mean? What does Shamarpa mean?
Shamarpa, yeah, means red hat. Red hat. There was in a Black Hat Lama was the first Lama who started reincarnation system, and then he recognized his regions, and he made a red crown by saying that connected to the Buddha Amitabha's activity. You know, Buddha Amitabha, I think many of you know, Buddha Amitabha is Buddha in West paradise in the West, one of the planet. Beyond billions of the many planets, and Buddha Amitabha's realm is there from west direction of this world, and there's a Buddha Amitabha. And then the Black Hat Lama recognized his chief disciple is connected to the activities of Buddha Amitabha, and he made him his region, and he made a crown. The crown means the Amitabha Buddha, connect to the Buddha Amitabha. So then Red Hat Lama's institution started.
So
I'm in that position right now, yeah.
So we consider it a title of the
Yeah,
institution?
title, yes. It is a kind of title. There are a lot of historical evolution happened, but not important.
So when we're talking about the path to awakening, and we talked about mindfulness a little bit, and there's a lot of discussion also about awareness, and today we are trying to understand what is consciousness. As human beings, we feel we have some consciousness. What is the difference between being conscious and being truly aware? Is there some distinction?
Consciousness means mind has the self-realization anyway. You have it, consciousness. Like this kind of metal doesn't have consciousness. Mind has consciousness. Therefore, we can understand, and we have illusion, we have enlightenment. Both. Consciousness. If you have no consciousness, then how will you understand anything? You cannot understand anything if you have no consciousness.
How about awareness? Is it
Same,
different?
same. Awareness is from awareness, consciousness, according Buddhist philosophy, is same meaning. Yeah.
Before we move into some questions, do you have some very basic and simple advice for Westerners on meditation? What is the most simple, basic comment you can have for us in terms of meditation advice?
Well, meditation is something that if one is fully dedicated to do the meditation, then you should be like a crank fisher crank. One-pointedly concentrate. You know, the fisher crank, the motivation is just for catching fish. Therefore, he has not much progress, yeah? Otherwise, the psychologically, fisher crank understood how to sit properly in order to concentrate very well. And then if their concentration is not good, then they cannot catch the first movement of the fish. First movement has to catch, then they can get the fish. Otherwise, no. Fish is very quick, yeah? So fisher crank psychologically knows how to sit and do the concentration, but then cannot be enlightened because intention of catching fish. and there's no mindfulness properly. And that's the one who dedicate your time is for meditation. But for the business people, or busy people who has a lot of work, should do meditation. First you learn how to do the meditation, and then you do meditation like horse eating grass. You serve your duty and then go, when you're free, then you eat grass. You don't make a special timing for that, but you constantly do it. No, from time to time you do it, then quickly, then you will have maximum progress. Once you get some result, then you will enjoy it. Then you will have spontaneous diligence. Then quickly you will be successful.
Some might interpret that in meditation we're trying to somehow stop the thoughts. We're not trying to stop the
No.
thoughts. So what are we doing? What do we do with our thinking?
When you do the meditation, your mind will be much more clear than usual. Yes, meditation makes your mind is very clear. That's true. But while you're driving, in the beginning time, if you do meditation, I will not recommend that. But after you get well used to it, then you can do, yes. You can control everything.
In the beginning time, when we're meditating and we have thoughts, many thoughts coming, how should we treat the thoughts?
Well, first step is recognizing the thoughts and then awareness. If you could keep the awareness, then when the thoughts appears, you will recognize, and then you will just bring back your mind to the where you focus on. And that's the way how you awareness. If your meditation means concentrate, but you have to be fully aware of your mind where it is. If thoughts arise, you will not try to stop it, but you will, once you bring back, once you recognize thought, no longer thought is existing there. Spontaneously it disappears.
Okay.
Yeah, well, today is not for teaching. I'm just,
so we can read the book.
Read the book. And my moderate is keep going into the meditation now. So slow.
Well, we have some questions that are coming in, so I'll begin to read some of those. First one is, finding peace and enlightenment in a big city while working full-time is more difficult than achieving it in a peaceful rural location. So in the big, busy city, what do you recommend for city people who don't have lots of time to meditate?
Well, it's really, once you know how to control your mind, the city doesn't bother you. It's all right. You can handle it and eat comfortably. That's why I say in the beginning time you should be like horse eating grass. Mainly for the city people.
Okay. Yeah. If we do find it difficult, should we leave the city,
no
retreat,
problem,
and come back, or in the beginning time
for
when
example,
it's not so simple?
When you could control your mind, any noise does not bother you. If you're concerned about everything, then even leaf blowing bother you,
So what should we do when that's the case?
So ignore the other. Well, that's why I say, excuse me, it will take time to teach you how to handle the disturbance, So you read it, you will know it.
Okay.
But anyway, you can handle it easily. When you understood from everything from here, you will be able to handle it, and then city life will not bother you so much.
Is there a certain length of time we should meditate for this beginning time?
I say
long?
Instead of making special time, better you do whenever you like, and you do many times in a day is better.
So short but many times?
Yeah, many times you like that's the metaphor I use is
Grass.
horse eating grass means that.
Okay, I see. Another question is, we are using many electronic devices now. We have iPad, iPhone, all kinds of different electronic devices. How does our constant connection through electronic devices contribute to our being trapped in these illusions that you talked about? Does this contribute to ignorance or wisdom? Is it helpful or not helpful?
This disturbing quite a lot to the lamas also. I know it. But one should know that way can you really, is that the solution? Always being in the internet is the solution for your life? I don't think so. Yeah, that's not the best. So many advices given by many of the, like Buddha and many masters, that you must be cautious about the nature of the life as well as the samsara, we call, yeah? Samsara means that born and then grown up and then get old and then die. So if you just let it be like that, then you misuse your life like vegetable. So you must use the meaning of the life. So meaning of the life is not just to be in the computer only, no. So by knowing that, one should use the potential of the life for meditation and other good deeds also.
We have so much information that's available through technology, including the teachings and your Kindle books and so forth. So can we use, so we should use the technology as well?
Sure, that is a then good way of using it. Yes. Yes.
Thank you. We have a question, Rinpoche. Are we born enlightened? Are we born with the enlightenment?
Everyone has the quality of the enlightenment, the nature of enlightenment. Everyone has it. Like everyone can go into sleep, but everyone has nature of can wake up from sleep. Yeah, same like that. So everyone has the nature of the awakening. It's only, as I say, completely overwhelmed by the illusions.
Why did that happen?
Well, that happened unfortunate. It's just all living beings are like that. Well, once you have the self-clinging, yeah? As long as you have the self-clinging, that happened.
So when we're born, we have the nature of enlightenment already, but we're...
Not nature, you have, quality of the enlightenment.
Is this what they call Buddha nature?
Yes.
Some terminology?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Interesting. Yes. Can you explore the idea of happiness a little more? Is happiness considered the mind's illusion that you discussed?
Happiness,
what are we talking about?
happiness that produced by the meditation is then not depends on anything. Yeah, it's a nature happiness. Otherwise, all happiness depends on something. So quickly change. Yeah. When you manage to bring up the nature piece of the mind, then that happiness can not go away. You will never get fed up from it, because fed up, who will fed up? Your mind is in the peaceful state of the mind, which is nature one. So then there is no one who can, no other that dissatisfy of it.
Is there some better terminology for happiness then we can use?
That's why I say our human language is the language of cats for this things.
In the Tibetan teachings, are there?
Same.
Are there
You have to
terminology?
use the deductions, otherwise no.
Okay.
deductions.
So there's temporary happiness, but there's some
Ultimate
other kind.
happiness, yeah, peace of the mind. So like Milarepa, while he was doing meditation, to inspire for himself, then he make a poem to explain the joyness and happiness that he get from his meditation is mainly all are deductions for his disciples. Yeah, he composed many poems, are all deductions for his followers. But he only could say that my joyness is beyond of the words, beyond of the imagination. There's no comparison in normal human life. That much they could say. Because free of the dualistic process is the freedom and happiness and joyness in the mind has no other comparison in universe, such as songs he made. Yeah.
So if we were free from the dualism and free from the ego and self-clinging you mentioned, what will motivate us? Why will we continue to be productive in the world and get things done? What happens to one with no dualism?
That is just because of you are totally overwhelmed by ignorant and then greedy and don't know what end. There's no end, but still hunting for that, isn't it? Still trying to get the something that ultimate happiness. By the time then you became old and die, nobody can achieve the ultimate happiness in this through this way. Nobody guarantee. Yeah.
So money cannot buy me happiness.
No, cannot. Cannot.
We have a question from the audience, which is, what is your biggest source of inspiration in your life? What is your biggest source of inspiration?
Inspiration is 7 points mind training. Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything, we talked a lot about meditation as the path, on the path to awakening. Meditation is very important. Is there anything other than meditation that can lead to the mastery of the mind, that produces the peace of mind you're talking about, other than meditation?
Well, many good deeds also help. Many good deeds will give you happiness and encourage you to engage more in the good deeds, and that way then you also will. Finally, you have to be connected to the meditation to rid away the illusion. There's no other way. But many good deeds make you happiness of what you do, and you will engage more in the good deeds. Good deeds means helping others, helping living beings.
Okay.
Yeah.
So doing good deeds, if that
make
becomes,
your mind is happy.
make your mind happy.
Some, not the tranquility that you achieve from the rid away the illusion, not that one, but another happiness is there. Yes.
Is that like the peace in the mind you're saying, or
No, just happiness.
Yeah, okay.
Happy is there. From it's given you by the merits. Merit of good deeds make you happy.
Okay.
Some happiness is there. Yes. It will not make you not to get old and die, but
Yeah.
some happiness is there.
Okay. We have a question about daily meditation, about one's daily meditation practice. How much do you advise for lay people, not
Same
monks,
answer.
normal people?
Same answer I told you. First of all, you should know how to do the meditation. And then second, then do as much as you can in every day. Be like horse eating grass. That's the answer.
Okay. Can you talk a little bit about the spiritual teacher? If we don't have a spiritual guide or meditation teacher, is that advisable?
Well, this is a good book. This is really good book for that. I think that's enough. And you can ask to the teacher if anything not clear, who can operate this meaning. And when you come to the higher level of meditation, then you will have a lot of questions. And that time, yes, you need guide of experience, of very experienced meditator. Yes, you will need the guides.
Okay.
Yeah.
When people are meeting different meditation teachers and different guides, how should we evaluate the teachers? How do we know if we have a qualified spiritual teacher?
Well, that part
or
is
good-
quite difficult. Yeah, that is one of the most difficult for, like Tibetan people. They know where the good meditators are, and frankly, I tell you, most of the Tibetan people, they don't trust meditation teachers who are always traveling. They always go to the meditation teachers who live in the retreat, renounced. Then they believe they have experience of meditation, which is quite right. But travelers is out of compassion. Then we teach everywhere. We go everywhere to teach. Of course, one cannot generalize. They, as I told you, they go everywhere and teach everywhere, but at the same time they are doing meditation. That's also there. That's also there. But most reliable are the renounced meditators who live in the isolated area. Then they have the perfect experience. So like Gambopa was the students of Milarepa here, you know. So when one day Gambopa could not see anything, like blind, he became like blind. And he went to see Milarepa with crawling. Yeah, Milarepa is not too far away in a cave, so he crawling and went there. And then he asked this, what happened now? And then Milarepa said, oh, you know, they have a meditation belt to keep the posture properly. So belt was too tight, that's why. You should loosen up the belt, then it will dissipate. Yes, it dissipates, but who knows it? Unless you are very experienced in meditation, you will not be able to guide like that. You cannot recognize the problem. So once you come to the high level of meditation, then you will need meditation teachers who are very high level of meditation too. Yes. But that's gradually. Nothing to worry right now.
A follow-up question then was, do you have centers in the area? Do you have centers for meditation in the area where people can learn Buddhism?
We
and
have a
learn
group
meditation?
here organized. She's leading the group in Pasadena. She also did 3 years retreat in France. There is a very big meditation center in the center of France called La Boste. And she went there to do the meditation for 3 years under the guide of the Lama Gendu Rinpoche, who is very, very good, very, very great master. He passed away in 1997, I think so, 96 or 7. So she is leading now a group meditation center there in Pasadena.
Okay, thank you. There's often a question, as this one, about children, about kids. What is a good age for kids to start meditating, and how do you get them to meditate?
Kids
First of
should
all,
not
what's good?
do meditation, they say. Kids will make mistakes. Kids, that's when we were young time, the old lamas discouraged us to do the meditation. they say kids should not do the meditation because they will misunderstand and then they will not know how to follow, and then later it is quite harmful to them. They say that. So when you come to age of like 20s, then it's okay for meditation. Or 18 years old is already okay. But nowadays I will say even 16, 17 is okay. But those time kids are slow, mature, so different.
Okay.
You have to be mature for the meditation, yes.
Okay. There's a comment, isn't mindfulness about living in the present moment and not being distracted? Is that what we mean by mindfulness? Living in the present moment, not being distracted. Is this what you
Yes,
obtained through the first point
Yes.
you're talking about?
Yes,
Yeah.
correct.
Okay.
Yeah, correct.
So once we achieve that, not being distracted, living in the present moment, then what do we do with that? What is the next steps?
Well, then once you could open one door, you will open many doors, because you will have the understanding how to proceed, how to develop yourself.
Okay.
Once you achieve one, then you will know to grow more.
Once you have, is it really possible to be rid of this duality once you go through the stages? Can you be rid of the duality and still live in the daily life we have, the busy life, working life?
To rid away duality, of course, it takes a long time, but to be free from its control, it's after some time you will achieve it, that you can control the duality, dualistic mind. You can control it. But to vanish it means then you are fully enlightened.
Okay.
But
So-
it doesn't mean that you are in coma.
So we can make some progress to control a little bit more
Yes,
the
you
dualistic
can do.
clinging, even though we won't be totally rid of it.
Yes,
Yeah, and we can still live in the busy life,
Yes.
working and
Yes.
so forth. Yeah.
yes.
Okay. You mentioned that mind is like a wild horse. How can you slow down or calm down a wild horse in order to meditate successfully? To begin with, I think the question is, does your mind have to be already somehow controlled?
The first meditation, first methods here, the concentration on the breathing, yeah? That is how you tame your mind, like wild horse.
Okay.
That meditation will tame, yes.
So we begin with the
Yes.
basic meditation,
Yes,
taming
your
the
mind, after you could count 1,000 times, then your mind, as wild horse, will be very obedient to you.
Okay, I'm wondering if we also have some microphones. If there are some other questions from the audience, give you a chance to think about it. Here, you want up front?
Yeah, I wonder if you can tell me the difference between karma and energy, or the laws of attraction as we've come to know in Southern California, we speak about.
Attraction.
Is karma similar to
Yeah.
energy or
Attraction.
attraction, law of attraction?
Law. Law of it. Karmas are created by the afflictions. Like somebody rob a shop, The first is the desire, no compassion, and no respect for your proper ethics. This kind of bad motivations, are the afflictions. And oneself does not know that you are going into a big mistakes. Ignorant is there. And then when you engage fully into that and accomplished what you wish, then karma is deeply stored in your mind.
I guess what really what we talk about is like
Excuse me.
The microphone.
really the idea is like attracts like energy. So compassionate energy gets compassionate energy back.
Yes?
Yes, that's kind
Yes,
of what
yes.
same.
Karma has so much energy. You can say that, fine.
What does the word karma mean?
Karma means mental events which carries either positive or negative, which can produce big illusion, a karma.
There's some more questions here.
After one life ended and before another life started, and that time your mind is completely out of your physical form and the stage of the wandering mind. And in that time, then a lot of karmic thoughts are arising. In this book, I mentioned pushy, crowded karma. Yeah, I made words pushy, crowded karmas. So at that time, then a lot of karmic thoughts are arising. Then among the all, one, by some circumstances, then appears, emerge. Then a new life is emerged to you. Your mind is like cocoon in the butterfly in the cocoon. Then, is it clear?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So energy is there, correct. Each of the karmic carries a lot of energy, right?
My question is, when and why did our minds become obscured? That's the first question. I have a second follow-up. But
That's very difficult to answer, like chicken and egg, isn't it? Which is first? Well, when you realize the awakening, then you realize, same time you realize, all your dreams, the illusions were never there, never began. It has no begin. Like a big elephant, you dream, yeah? You dream a big elephant in your dream. The elephant has no begin, they say. When you wake up, then you will realize there was no begin, there was no end. So all the illusions has no begin, no end. But when your mind was obscured, is beyond of our the abilities of mind. Yeah. When it's beginning less. It is no begin, never. It's never began. So that's it. You're right. Then that is the one of the subject that our mind cannot judge. Yeah. Yes, cannot.
it's an unanswerable question.
Pretty much yes, but then the existing of creation is the problem that you have to handle it. Yeah.
And the second question I have is on your website, you said with the 14 different incarnations that you don't carry I'm not sure if it was the karma, or the merit forward, that every time you start, it's anew. But if that's,
About me, or
what's that?
Yeah. About the 14th
yeah, so-
Marpa lineage.
Yeah, on your website, about you and your 14 different incarnations,
yeah.
that when you start on your new incarnation, like your 14th one, that it starts new, that there's no, like it's not like merit or karma is carried forward. Is that,
Yes.
did I understand that correct? But I
Yeah,
thought karma
well-
follows you from lifetime to lifetime. Is that,
Yeah, a lot of karma, sometimes good and bad. But okay, suppose I am the genuine reincarnation of the past, Shamar past. So at least good is that I did not go into a lower realm so far. That is my good karma. And bad karma is I had to handle with my illusions. Illusion means all the some bad karma is there, but still I have to be in like, not bad karma, or maximum good karma, and some bad karma, because I will be old and die, and then again I have to reincarnate again in birth, and then as a child crawling and crying, sometimes happy, and again grown up as a human, and then get old and die. So these are, what do you think? Some not good is there, but maximum good is there because a precious human life. I will not be reincarnate as a donkey. Yeah.
Rinpoche, do we know what happens to our brain scientifically when we're meditating? What
The
difference
nerves,
between the brain?
the nerves
what's
in
happening?
brain will go into tranquility. Brain. When you do meditation, then all the brain in the nerves in the brain will go in will be very balanced and comfortable.
We have some more question in the back there, maybe
I
first.
think.
A few more minutes. Yeah, a couple more questions we have.
First of all, thank you for sharing today.
You're welcome.
There's an expression that prayer is speaking with God, and meditation is listening for God. What is your response to that?
Who is that?
What is prayer?
It means prayer, is it? Supplications. Well, out of compassion, out of devotion, then you pray for what? If you pray for the living beings, if you pray for the world, peace and harmony, and to rid away all the bad things, what is happening, any supplication, any prayers will work because out of your good motivation, out of compassion. So I'm not fully aware what is your question, but prayer will work then. Prayer carries a lot of merits, yes.
I think there was a question here. Yeah.
I had a question about ascended masters, and do they assist people here in this dimension? Are they around? And if ascended masters, do they bother with us, or are they busy doing more important worldly things?
The great masters, are they helping us?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's her question. In
Yes,
this world?
great bodhisattvas, they help. As great bodhisattvas, like Shanti Diva, yeah? Shanti Diva make a lot of wishes. And for instance, like, volcano, kind of this. And a lot of living beings are there, even scientists discover now. And Buddha mentioned that millions, billions of living beings can be in the fire, and they have kind of physical form that you will not be ignited by the fire, but you will feel it. A lot of bacterians, they're discovered now. I met recently one scientist. He said there are worms in the superheated water. Like that kind of living beings are there. And Shanti Diva type of bodhisattvas, so much compassion, limitless compassions they have. And they, from out of their compassion and by generating their merits power and their wish, and they made a lot of wishes to vanish it, this kind of realms, to vanish it. That's also happening, for example, in the past, in Kunming, is it city in China? The beautiful rock garden, nature rock garden, is kind of dead hell, vanished. And many like that, good things happening to the human land now is, yes, happening to the living beings, partially from the wish of the great bodhisattvas, yes.
We had one last question here. Do you believe people in Tibet are happier than those who live in the West? What can you say about that?
Nowadays, seems, well, they are going into self-immolation, which is not so happy, isn't it? Otherwise, nowadays, they're okay. The self-immolation is mainly for political reason. Otherwise, they are okay nowadays. Tibetan people in Tibet live quite well, quite comfortably. Well, we have people keep going into Tibet and coming, so they're okay. But, well, they want to be politically not maybe satisfied, but otherwise okay. Yeah.
Thank you, Rinpoche. So thank you very much, Rinpoche.
Thank you.
Thank you, Marc. Thank you, Rinpoche. And also, Laurie Milken, thank you so much for bringing this to us tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, the book is for sale. He will sign autographs. Thank you so much for coming.
The heart is a bloom, shoots up through the stony ground. There's no